G'day guys, this is Nick at Stridewise.com, where we look at casual and durable menswear and footwear. In winter, I'm all about boots, but in shorts weather, I am all about loafers. I'm obsessed with them. I own a million pairs. Many of them are very dressy, like this Carmina one, or these Allen Edmonds horsebit loafers. But I'm here to tell you, there are casual loafers that you can dress all the way down. Loafers have one of two unfortunate stereotypes. One is as footwear on suits on Wall Street here in New York City, or as the shoe of choice for Ivy League professors. So you could be forgiven for thinking there is no way that you can wear loafers with shorts and a t-shirt, which is why, as part of my life's mission to bring quality, resolable, casual footwear to more guys, I thought today I would make this video on my favorite summer loafers that you can totally wear casually, even though they're very high quality and resolable too. These are loafers you can wear with shorts, but I would also rock them with like linen trousers and a straw hat and all manner of stylish casual summer wear as well. Yes, I do have a linen tuxedo because I'm a very normal person. How do you know if loafers are casual? Because again, a lot of guys are going to think of them as stuffy. And there are two things you mostly want to look at. You want to look at the leather and the last. And I'll mention some other elements as we go throughout this list, but those are the two main things. The world's dressiest leather, arguably, it would be black box cuff, like you get on these dressy Carmina loafers here. Below that, I'd say brown is a lot more versatile. A grainy brown, like this one, is like more casual. And while there are ways to dress suede up, I think it's pretty uncontroversial to say that suede is like the default leather for casual footwear. Brown suede, of course, is the go-to, but if you find like suede that's like white or pink, I say go for it. That makes it even more casual. And there is actually one brand on this list that can sort you out if you're looking for those extra interesting, let's say innovative, experimental, casual leathers. Another leather that you'll see on this list that is casual, even though it's not suede, is Chrome XL. I don't have a study to cite here, but as a guy who's owned over 100 pairs of boots, I can pretty confidently say that Chrome XL is the most beloved leather for casual boots. It's just a really great balance of like very hard wearing, and also it just like looks great as it ages as well. And it's pretty comfortable too, because it's very moist and it's chrome tanned. I'm not gonna get too far into it, but Chrome XL is another really good option if you are not a fan of suede. But in addition to the leather, the other thing that will dictate how casual a loafer is, or any footwear, is the last. The last is what dictates the shape and fit of the loafer or boot. And what I'm mostly talking about here is the shape of the toe on the loafers, right? You probably already know this, but the more almond shaped or pointy a shoe is, the dressier it is generally considered. And for a casual loafer like this or like this, you want something that is fairly round and wide at the toe. It's also more comfortable, but it also makes it more casual and more appropriate to wear with shorts. Like for instance, I've got these like brown suede tassel loafers here, and like you would think that because they're brown and because they're suede and because they're tassels, they would dress down easily. But actually like this toe is so pointy that I actually don't really feel super comfortable wearing these with shorts and a t-shirt. Whereas this, while you would think that the leather is more dressy because it's not suede, it's a lot rounder at the toe. So it is actually a lot easier to wear with shorts as well. So the last can be like the deciding factor, definitely. So I've taken the last and the leathers into account when devising this list, plus some other stuff that I'll mention as I go too. So let's get to this list of casual summer loafers that I am enjoying this year, which is A, not being framed as the best casual loafers, and B, not in any particular order. So just try getting mad at me about this list, commenters. This is all totally subjective. The casual loafer that I am wearing a lot right now is the Dartflex from Astorflex, which is sold on Huckberry. It's actually a family-owned workshop outside of Milan in Italy that's been making shoes since the 19th century. I'd like them to have a suede version of the Dartflex, but this one still has a lot of what I'm looking for here. It's got a nice round toe is the main thing. It's got a versatile penny loafer design, and it's got a leather sole, and it's mostly unlined. So those last two things make it really good for warm weather. The brand has a real emphasis on being flexible and lightweight while also being resolable. They have this sort of unusual construction that they call ideal stitch. And I don't want to get too sidetracked by shoe construction, but that construction makes them both very flexible and lightweight while still being resolable, which is cool. The downside is they don't do half sizes, but I size down on Huckberry's advice, and they fit pretty well. It's a roomy, casual fit, but I don't get heel slip despite my low instep, which is pretty troublesome for laceless shoes. Side note, if your loafers are a bit loose, it's usually because of a bad foot on your instep, this bit on the top of the foot here. And I'm a really big proponent of buying these $10 tongue pads from this German company called Pedag. I really need to ask them to sponsor me because I talk about them all the time. While I'm talking about Astorflex, I probably should, while I'm here, shout out their much more popular model of theirs that if you're considering loafers especially if you haven't worn a lot of loafers before, you might not have known that this variety exists. It is sometimes called a Venetian loafer, sometimes it's called a slipper. Whatever you want to call it, this is the Patnoflex. It is less traditional, but for a lot of guys, that's why they prefer this one. They designed this one for travel, which I guess is why it's far and away the lightest weight loafer on this list. Also very, very flexible. You could say it's the most insubstantial feeling if you want to criticize that, but it is also the cheapest to make up for it. So they are 198 bucks right now. It has less underfoot than on the Dartflex, again, because the idea is that it is as light and flexible as you can get. And they do have half sizes, and they've got suede ones available. Another brand I'm really into at the moment for loafers is Meermin Mallorca. They're best known for their hole-cut Chelseas and for their loafers. They really need a public service announcement like this one because they've been a bit hit or miss with their loafers over the years. And the reason is that they've been selling in Europe for like over 20 years, and they haven't been selling to Americans for very long. And Europeans like much slimmer and tighter fitting loafers than we do here in the US. So I've tried their long-standing Ron Last loafers, which is very dressy, but it's really uncomfortable on my toes, like it's very pinched. And then they came out with the Nova loafer, which is these ones. And I found this really comfortable, and it's also unlined, which is like great. You see that? It's so really, really good for summer. It's still quite sleek looking. I would call it their most versatile. To me, it's a little bit too slim for me to feel really comfortable wearing it with shorts and a t-shirt. But in response to a lot of American feedback, Meermin has kind of finally come out with the Sway loafer. Well, that's the name of the last that they use anyway. And this is, it really is just what I would want from a summer loafer. It's nice and roomy, but it's comfy, but it's still pretty versatile. You could wear this with like tweed and a tie if you felt like it, but it is a really good balance as far as a nice roomy toe, and it's also got a bit of volume there as well. And those are two things that, again, Americans tend to want from their loafers, and that Meermin kind of took a long time getting around to selling, but they've finally done it. Now, if what you're really prioritizing is breathability, I would say go with their Nova loafer because this one's unlined. So it is the best for that. But if what you're prioritizing is casualness, go with the Sway loafer. The only thing with the Sway, they gave it a bit more volume, but to help do that, they lined it with sheepskin. It still breathes just fine, especially because it's got a leather sole. So it is plenty breathable. It's just not quite as breathable as an unlined loafer. So you kind of have to just sort of choose the direction you want to go in. So Meermin's made in China, Astorflex are made in Italy. If you're cool with paying a bit more for USA made, or if that's what you want, Oak Street Bootmakers, which is this brand here. What makes this an extra casual loafer? As you can see, it is nice and white at the toe. These ones are made with Chrome XL, that famous casual boot leather I mentioned. And there's these bunched up bits of leather on either side of the penny strap, which are called Beefrolls, which really dress down a loafer, especially when they're chunky like this one. Finally, these loafers are really unusual because they're made with genuine hand-sewn moccasin construction. I talked more about it in that factory tour that I'll put in the description below. But basically, every other mock toe style loafer or boot you encounter is inspired by the way that these loafers are made. And very few people actually make them like this anymore, where there is, like long story short, instead of the upper going over your foot and getting stitched to the sole, with loafers like this, you're actually standing on one piece of leather going under the foot, and then it gets stitched to the plug up here. So a lot of people find that more comfortable and kind of conforms to your foot better with time. It's also cool because it's kind of like a vanishing shoemaking art form. The last one is Grant Stone's Traveler Loafer, which isn't so much a very casual loafer as it is a very, very versatile loafer. If you got this in black calfskin, it would be just fine with a suit, but it's more popular in natural Chrome XL, like I've got here, and above all, brown suede. And it is a really, really versatile design. If you put it between like a dressier last and a really casual last, you can see it like really literally sitting right in between the two of them. But in a more casual leather, you can definitely see what Grant Stone calls the classic contours and higher sidewalls of a rounded casual comfort loafer. Even though the recent price jump to $412 is a bit eye-watering, you sort of get double the loafer here. Grant Stone also stands out on this list because they offer more width and half sizes than many of its competitors. They're really good at helping you size them. They're actually the ones who told me about those tongue pads. And unlike most of the other loafers on this list, they are made with Goodyear welt construction. The Goodyear welt on these makes them the heaviest and least flexible loafers, but it does probably make them the toughest and the most long-lasting. And they're easier to resole pretty much infinity times. Also, they offer way more leathers than anyone else here. That's a really important thing to emphasize. I really like this one here. This is an extraordinarily hairy suede. Suede's normally like shaved down more than this. This one is not. I call it dreadlock suede. They call it milkshake. Apparently nobody's buying it, so I shouldn't talk about it too much, but I am showing it to you as an example of the kind of cool things that Grant Stone comes out with on their loafers. All right, man, that's my list of casual loafers that I'm really enjoying this summer that I think you can totally wear with shorts. I think you should try them out. Let me know what your favorites are. I've heard some good things about Blackstock and Weber. I went to their store in Soho the other day, but I haven't tried them out yet, but I will. There are a lot of great loafers out there, but as someone who owns a whole lot of them, I think this is a pretty good starting point for anyone who wants a casual loafer for summer. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe if you just went up here for more stuff on casual and durable menswear and footwear. And I'll see you for the next one.